But make sure umefunga tabs za necessary. Share screen, ushaanza broadcast. Haya. Si present. Hii click nini hapo?
Hi, welcome for today's meetup, Python Kisumu. I am Lucy Misa, and today we'll be talking about data types in Python. So I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yeah, so welcome. So, what is data types? Yeah, what is a data type? What is the data type? Yes.
A data type is a type for an object. Like a data type is a category that an object can belong to. Something like that.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
It's a way that we identify data.
We can
We can check.
Hey. So data type, I think it's just a way of identifying routine data and the number subjects. Or three both primitive data and complex data.
Yeah, you're both correct. It's types, if I may say, types of, or rather how the most basic or rather complex data can be categorized. So Python has four data types, which are numbers, strings, lists, and dictionaries. I added functions and classes because I just wanted to talk about it, but it's not really a data type. Yeah, and also I saw another category on the internet where they were saying that there are like a certain categorization of the data types that categorizes data types into two categories. One is atom or scalar, the ones that take one value at a time, like numbers and strings. Yeah, and then list, dictionaries, functions, and classes are containers because they take up many data items at the same time. So yeah, that is why I added it there. But on other books, it's not there, so I wasn't very sure. So we'll start with numbers. Python numbers. We have 5 categories under the Python numbers. It's not like JavaScript. In JavaScript, numbers are just numbers. But in Python, we have 5 types. We have integers, floats, complex numbers, long integers, and Boolean. Integers are the normal counting numbers, the ones you know, and they can be negative or positive. That is from 0 to 9. Yeah. And then floats are the numbers with dots, with decimals. No, it's the numbers with fractional parts. Yeah, like 1.2, 1.34. Yes. And since today we were just talking about the simple data types, I didn't want to get too much into it. But I know there's a way you can specify the number of decimal places you want. Yeah, so that one we'll talk it in another talk about it in another meetup. And then we have complex numbers. Complex numbers are like 3 plus 2j. That is a complex number. Yeah, where you have combined both letters, like the algebraic expressions. I hope everyone remembers that from high school. Yeah, 2x plus y. That is a complex number. Long integers are I don't know if you can remember when we were discussing on JavaScript numbers, we said that the number limit, the higher limit, sorry, the maximum number you can have in JavaScript, it's a number, I can't remember the exact number, but it stands, I think 30 to power 8, I'm not sure. Yeah. So in Python does not limit you. You can go to whatever length you want. So when you're writing what is it called? A very long number, you can use the long integer. It allows you to go past the 64 bits or the 32 bits that maybe the computer provides. And then the Boolean, it has only 2 values, true and false. And in Python, you have to write the true and the false values has to be capital, be capital. The T and the F, yeah. So yeah, and also in Boolean, rather in Python, the value true is associated with 1, and the value false is associated with 0. So, for example, if you are to do something like this, let me open my terminal first. Can you see my screen? It's control. So if I was to do something like 1 plus true, you get 2. And if I was to do 1 plus 1 plus false, I get 1, because true is associated with 1 and false is associated with 2. Sorry, 0, yeah. And if I was to type in true like this, I will get an error because true is not defined. So I have to do this, true. So Python recognizes this as one of its data types. The same to false. If I did false, it will echo back false because it recognizes it. But if I write it in capital letters, small letters, it will tell me it does not recognize the name false. Yeah, and any other operation using numbers, for example, integers, it will be as simple as 3 plus 5. My indentation. A will get 8. It's as simple as that. Yeah. So, and converting through the types. For example, if I have 3 in Python, this 3 is an integer. If I wanted to convert it to a float, I would do this. That is a float. And if I wanted to get an int from a float, I would do that. I'll get 3. Yeah. I hope you can hear me. I can't hear myself. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So let's continue. That's it with numbers. So in future meetups, we will, yes? Oh, okay. In future meetups, we'll talk more about the number data types and every other data types that Python has. The next one is strings. This is among the most common used type of Python. Yeah, and in Python, you can either use string double quotes or single quotes. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, and creating it is simply as just enclosing characters in those quotes, either one that you prefer. So, for example, also it's immutable. What we mean by that is okay. Uh, when you want to create a string, for example, uh, my string. So this is a string. So there it is. We have already created a string. If I was to output my string, this is a string. So it being a immutable data type, it means that when you change the value, the ID also changes. It's like you're creating a new one. You're not replacing it. That is what it means by being immutable. Let me give you an example. When you say a data type is immutable, it means when you reassign or change the value of the data type, whatever it is, string, number, or any other immutable data type, you will create a new object. Not the one, you're not replacing it, you're creating a new one. So if something is mutable, if a data type is mutable, when you reassign it or add content to it, you maintain the same ID. But if it's immutable, if you reassign it or change the contents, you change the ID also. I will demonstrate that. For example, my string. So if you wanted to find the ID object of the string, we'll say print. Because it's Python 3, we will use the parentheses. This is the syntax for the print. Sorry, this is the syntax for the print method in Python 3. If it's Python 2, you don't have to use the parentheses.
Oh, so if you use print in this case alone, there is an
Yeah. It will tell you have not used the parentheses. Let me just remove this. You see, but not like print. Print. This is missing parentheses to call. Yeah. So this is a Python 3 syntax. So if I wanted to print the object ID of my string, I would do print ID into brackets my string. That is the ID, my object ID of the string currently. So my string has My string contains this is a string. So for example, if I wanted to say, and I have added this. So our new ID should be different. Yes. Have you seen what this is the first ID? This is the second one. So it's like we have created a different object. Has everyone has understood?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes, it's clear.
Is there any question up to that? So this is yeah.
I haven't. I haven't understood really.
Okay. There are two types of objects or data types or whatever we call it. Mutable and immutable. So mutable means it's changing. You can change it. You remember the gene mutation? Yeah. Immutable means it cannot change. Yeah. So here, the first time my string contained this is a string, right? This was the first. It's the initial contents in it, and then we found out that its object ID is this. Yeah. And then we added contents. We added, and I have added this. So this means that the content has been changed or modified or edited. So what happens is, because it's an immutable data type, the string, it's like you have created a totally new object. We are not replacing it. That is why it has a different ID object. Yeah. Like the IDs are the identification for the objects. So you see there are two objects.
So for this one, so for this one, reassigning is the same as modifying.
Yeah, reassigning is the same as modifying.
Because we got generate new object.
Yes. When you add or remove or edit, when you just tamper with the initial content, you create a new object. And if it's mutable, let me just go steps ahead. For example, if you had a list, my lists, okay, my list, and then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 45. If we printed the ID, my list, that is our ID for the list, my list object at currently. Then if we modify, let's add 78, 90. Yeah. If we try to find the list. Okay. This is a new one.
Look at the
It's the same.
The last
Yeah.
4 digits.
Yeah.
The last 4 digits.
Yeah.
Not the same.
Yeah, but list is mutable. Yeah.
I've sent a link. Can we check? What does it add to the list?
I have added.
Actually, you have not added things to the list.
Yeah.
You have not added things to the list. What you've done, you have created a new list with new values. It's only that the first values are similar to the other ones. So if you appended to the list,
Okay. Now I'm getting
you can say my list dot append a value, and then you can see.
append. Let's say 1,000.
Yeah.
That is 10,000. So if
Print out my list.
My list. It'll be the previous.
Let's see if it's it has
sorry, my list.
just
My-
print. Yeah.
Man.
Oh,
Why?
Write on a list. Dot append. Actually, you have to be. Actually, now it's none. You have to create a list.
Well, let's
Just create a new list. Create a new list.
Equals maybe like one.
Yeah. So print the ID.
LSD, something LSD2.
Yeah.
That is the current.
That is the
method.
current ID. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can list two dot append, and then yeah.
So list two.
Yeah. So as you can see, we have altered the we assign the variable name to another. So what we've actually done is appending an item on the list. So when you print the ID, you can see it's this.
It's the same thing. So okay, actually we did mention that append is a list method that allows us to add items to our lists, and it takes only one argument.
So arrays was a list.
List, yes. Yeah.
So you don't have arrays.
We don't. We have lists.
Sorry.
We have arrays. Arrays are just, it's only that the name is different, but they're the same.
The
Arrays
same
are
thing.
lists.
So the arrays are mutable because the previous content is replaced by the current contents.
Yeah, so in that case, we can try and prove if strings are mutable too. You can assign string, maybe str. Str is a keyword.
Yeah.
Yeah, just use another one. Name it. Give it a name. Hey, that is laziness.
That is my name.
Okay, so
Okay.
you can print the ID so that you can the name ID. Okay, yeah. So we have the ID. So what you can do is name, and then we concatenate. Yeah.
Oh, we can say now name. We can concatenate it with
A real name.
a real name. Okay.
Yeah, just as it's missing today.
Okay. So
Okay, so we can
yeah.
now check the ID to check if
Oh, we have not even. The deal will remain the same because we did not assign
we are signed.
name plus just.
We haven't assigned
we
name
did not this
to name plus.
Oh, okay.
Actually, what we've done, it's like list appending to a list.
No,
We are just adding
But
a string to
the value we are looking at this point,
his name. We want to see if it's mutable or not.
that is what I was saying.
Okay. Yeah.
Then after that, we cannot
I
say-
print name first. Print name.
Okay. What?
Just name.
print name. Then not the ID. See if it's
That's great. It hasn't.
it does.
It has.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It does.
We have
But
set
they-
the value, the ID is also. The ID is also different.
So this is immutable. Strings are immutable.
Yes.
Oh, there is a thing here that commutable as immutable objects. You can see a list of some of the mutable and some immutable. That's in the chat.
On the chat.
Yeah.
Can you look at it right now?
Yeah, it's
So mutability of common types. The following are some of the immutable objects: int, float, decimal, complex, bool, string, tuple, range, frozen sets, and bytes. So basically, the first one, int, float, decimal, complex, and boolean, those are the number data types. Those are the number data types. I don't know how to zoom out. I'm like, how can I?
I think it's
We
okay.
can see from the strings.
Okay.
From string to string.
Okay, yeah. And then so the number data types, which are the first 5, and then string. Tuple is an immutable string. List. And then range. What do you mean by range? Yeah, but but yeah, but it's always like in terms of integers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. So you can just say it's integers. Frozen sets. Honestly, I haven't come across that one. Bytes. I think they're referring to the same bytes, the computer bytes.
But it makes bytes and
That is what this moment.
Those ones. Those ones are the bytes.
referring to bytes, like kilobytes.
Yeah, I think so.
Megabytes.
Yeah,
Hello?
I think so. Can you hear me? Yeah. And then mutable objects are lists, dictionaries, sets, byte array, user-defined classes, unless specifically made immutable. Okay, so I don't know what a byte array is. Anyone who has an idea? So I think you can go through the rest of this at your own time. Yeah, so let's continue. Oh, so I included 2 methods that we can use with strings. Yeah, they are the simplest. The one to convert to lowercase and the other one to convert to uppercase. So dot lower, the dot lower method does not take any parameters. It does not take any parameters or arguments. Also, the dot upper method does not take any parameters or arguments. Yeah, and there are many more methods that we can use with the strings. There's join, split, yeah, replace. There are so many, but because I was just going through the basic stuff, I just decided to keep it simple. So on to our next, our list. So you can create a list by simply writing a square bracket, or rather assigning assigning a square bracket to a variable. So at its simplest, it's a collection of values separated by a comma. Yeah, and don't forget to enclose it in a square bracket. So also, list does not restrict you to the types you can use. That means, let me just
Oh,
okay. So for example, list 1, if we did this, we have created an empty list. So for example, if we had list 2, you can put 1, 2, 3, 4. this is what I meant by it is simply a data type, or rather a data. It's also called it's also categorized under the containers data types category because it can contain many values. So this is what it means. It contains a collection of values separated by commas. The next point was you're not restricted to the types that you can put inside. That means you can put numbers. Also, you can put strings. And you can also put other lists inside it. You can also put a dictionary inside it. This will be name. Do we enclose the key?
There's a comma after 4. After?
Hmm?
Do we enclose the
The key.
Yeah.
We enclose the key.
If you leave it like that, there's a comma after 4.
Sorry, I'll look at it.
A comma after?
No, it is not a comma.
Yeah, so, yeah.
This is what it means. You can put any data types inside the list. Yeah? Even booleans. True, false. Those are the boolean. We can go to the next. That sub is not working. No, it's not.
Yeah. To the browser. There. Not happened.
My
I told you to go.
no, my laptop has my touchpad has a problem. Stop saying that. You're making me tense. And my touchpad officially doesn't work. But it's still not working very well. Who has a mouse? Who?
This computer doesn't have a mouse.
Yeah.
This is yeah, this is another Twitter.
In sorry guys. Yeah, so we are at the list. So as we saw, the a list is immutable. I hope you guys can remember. Yeah, some of the methods and the functions that we can use with the list is, one of them is append. So you say, for example, if our list was S, append, and then you put the whatever value you want to add. Whatever value you want to add to your list. For example, S is a list that contains 4 elements. So if you wanted to add the 5th element, we'll do S dot append and whatever number or whatever element you wanted to add. And then when you print our S, we'll see the element you wanted to add in line 2 has been added. This is useful when you want to append, or rather when you want to add one element to a list. But then when you want to add more than one, you use extend method. This is what I mean. If I said s dot append and then I put 2 values or 3, I'd get that. Append method takes on exactly 1 argument and you have given 3. So if I wanted to append, because there are situations where you'll find yourself you need to append more than 1 element. So if you want to do that, you'll say extend it's something that I did not understand, and if somebody understands that can tell me. This works, but then if I do this, if I remove, it will not work.
So extend
one argument. Yeah, and before you say something else, I've thought, no, I've not seen it. I still need the explanation. I've just thought, what if also in the append method I add another bracket? Let me see if it works. It works.
But it takes the whole thing as
1 element. That is the difference. So
extend.
Someone explain to me why we need the two
So
brackets.
I'm seeing from the error that extend takes exactly 1
Sorry.
argument. Just don't screw in line up. Just the extend error. Extend takes exactly 1 argument. So it's like in the extend method inside it, the first parenthesis you should and the other one. Then it takes everything that is inside there as separate values. Yeah. So and it takes if you pass it like that, you have passed 3 arguments.
Yeah.
But if you pass it now with 2 like that, you have seen what append has done when you pass it 2. The whole of 2, 3, 4 is like 1 argument.
Yeah.
And it appends it like that, but with extend it like checks what is inside and separately extracts it and something.
Okay. Does anyone have a question?
On extend, if you try and add a list inside, can you try that?
So let's not extend.
Alright.
It will be like 100.
Try that.
This it was added.
The list, but as single.
Yeah, but on append, if you add a list, it will give you a list inside the list. So that's what, yeah.
So what does it actually? Oh, sorry. So what does the 2 parentheses help to do?
So, as you can see, extend actually takes only one argument. So whether you pass it as a tuple or you pass it as a list, it will get the contents separated by the comma inside the tuple or the list and append them, each and one of them to the list you're appending to.
But if you are not appending another container data type, as in like a list or a tuple, you're just appending normal values like here, yeah. So here,
Okay,
there.
so-
You need double.
Yeah.
So I think if you can you try appending addition. I think if you
Or
also check,
before that,
if you also check the values inside addition.
you can try appending just one. Just one without two variables. A
Yeah.
single number.
Extend.
Not appending.
Extend.
With one.
We did that here. Where is
We
it?
can do
Yeah.
one.
You get an error.
No, as in you just put 2 instead of 2, 3, 4.
Just
Yeah,
Like-
as a single.
Oh, like that one.
with extend. This should work.
Yeah, but it will
Yeah, so actually, you know why it does
You can see
that?
there,
Yeah, it actually loops through what you
you have
pass.
plenty of parts.
So when you pass a tuple, when you pass a list,
That's
it loops through, yeah, to give you
I
the.
think now we
So-
understand why.
You can try and get his suggestion of extending a addiction.
Addiction.
Instead.
Appending a dictionary. So
Or you just extending and appending addition.
for
So
example,
appending is just
1. You don't have to actually give
Mm.
strings.
key very fast. It has to be.
and then 2 as a values. Right. Is that allowed?
Yeah, that's allowed. So you can actually close.
So S. Yeah.
And it's from
It appends.
Scroll up.
Control L. I think Control L will clear everything.
Yeah. It's okay.
it's
There,
adding, it's extending. Oh, we have appended.
We have
I wanted to
appended.
extend.
So, okay.
So
Then here,
now you do
extend.
some expect.
And
What are you expecting?
what are you expecting?
Expecting it to be the same. It will go to the end of this.
So it will
As a dictionary.
first dictionary. In the second is like it will iterate the dictionary.
Yes.
Yeah, our dictionary we have like only two values.
Yeah.
One is in there,
One is two.
one is two. So how we need
It will give, I think it will give 2 dictionaries.
Two
two
dictionaries.
dictionaries will mean that the values of the dictionary are key values there.
So if you look through, as you've seen during the error, it iterates.
Jarrett, yeah. So, can I run it?
Boom. Yes.
So, we have
What is that?
Hey,
No, it's just the same.
it's,
so we have, I'm seeing.
dictionary has been appended.
Oh, I think, yeah, it's correct. Because it only returns the keys.
Yeah, it returns the keys.
It has iterated and returned only the.
Sorry, I think anyway,
What do you mean the keys?
I have confused you guys.
I'm seeing the two there and the name.
There's the key
There is the
value.
two at the end there and the name.
Let me explain something. It's the same string we've been using all through. That is why we have all these.
Oh,
Yeah. So when we appended the dictionary, our return value was 2, the dictionary.
Right?
When this string is this long because we have been using the same string S. So for example, when we appended a dictionary, yeah, this one, we appended this dictionary. When you append, it comes as no, like our return value is the same thing that we appended. Like if you appended the dictionary, we get the dictionary. The dictionary is appended. If we, yeah, sorry, again, if we append a list, we get, okay, we get this list. You see this one? This, yeah, we get that one. So but when we extend it, we don't get we get the values. For example, you see this is a list, but here we extend the previous. You see this one? This is the same list as this one, but here we appended and here we extended. Are we okay? Are we together? Yeah. So again, this dictionary, this dictionary, sorry, this dictionary, this dictionary we appended, but when we extend it, we get the values. Dictionary is a keys.
We get the keys without getting the values. If we extend the dictionary.
Okay. Yeah. So dictionary is a pair of key and value. So the keys are the name and 2. The values are 1 and 67. So we've gotten the keys, which are 2 and name. Yeah. So that's it. Count counts the number of occurrences of an element. For example, if we had a listing.
Actually, you don't have to assign all the time.
You can just use the one you want to use it as.
Yes.
So you can say from the count.
Count. What do we count? What element can you count? 2.
I'm saying 2.
2. So if we counted 2, we get 3. That means 3 occurs twice.
Occurs.
Yeah, 2 occurs twice. Yes. 2. Our element 2 occurs 3 times, which is this one. This one. No, the one outside. Oh, okay. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
And the last key, that one. Yeah. Dot reverse is for reversing. Yeah. Yes. Dot reverse. Reverse. You see what has happened? Yeah. Any question?
No.
Okay. Umesema haraka. Dictionaries, I did not finish. They also called maps, hashes, or associative arrays.
Oh, sorry, in Python too, you can call it a hash.
Yeah,
In Python,
you can call.
You have said it is also known as hash. So,
in other languages, in other programming languages.
not in Python.
You call it things you don't know.
Oh, okay.
Because in Google we call them hashes.
Hashes, yeah. Dictionaries are lists of key and value pairs. Dictionary is a powerful, because it can hold a lot of related data associated through keys, like name equals to that, age is that. So because of this, actually, you can use a dictionary as a database. Yeah. So I will need someone to help me with that. So if I have my dict1, this will create an empty dictionary. And then, who will help me to append values to it? How do we append dictionary?
One dot append, and then you put inside brackets.
I don't think so, but let us just do it. Dot append.
Yeah, you don't have to say sure.
It will.
Append is available for, yeah.
No, you can't append like that.
You have to have, yeah, append
You can
a key value.
a key value. Okay. So it will be name.
And it still has to be, yeah, it has to be in,
Curly brackets.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. Has no
Attributes append.
Extend.
Yeah, what that means is the dictionary object does not have a method called append, or rather, it does not recognize what append is, because it has said it has no attribute because we have used the dot notation. If you say dict1 dot append, it means that you're calling that method and that object. You're calling the append method on the dict1 object. So the interpreter takes append as a method, but because dictionary is a inbuilt type, it does not have that. It does not recognize a method like that. Yeah, it would be the same as me writing dictionary dict1 dot Lucy. The same. Yeah. The thing, the value, what do you call it?
You can't have a method called.
Yeah.
So append is a method called.
Yeah. So I wanted to say that when on the right side of the dot is the method, and on the right side, sorry, on the right side is the method, on the left side is the object. Yeah. So what other method can anyone tell me?
You by have you add okay. So should I dictate
Yes, just dicts, dict1.
one
Yeah.
and then square bracket another and then no space.
Okay. So dict1, yes, array.
Yeah, so no space. So inside that one you have a string called age,
Age, yeah.
and then you're saying it equals to a value. Okay. You're so old. So print dict1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is how you add values to the.
To a dict. So you declared an empty one.
Yeah.
And yeah. So if you add another one, maybe name and then give it a name.
So name.
It must be a string.
Am I running out of time?
Yeah, so you have. So give it a value. So print dict1. Yeah.
So you have age and the name.
Yeah, so that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to access the value, right, equal the key. Yeah. So if I say dict1 name, I should get Sophia.
It doesn't have to be in because
I have seen it has. Sorry. Let me just clear my screen. Okay. That is how we access values. And in lists, we use the indices.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Is everyone okay?
Yeah.
Here.
Let us move to the next one. Functions. So, as I said earlier, I'm not quite sure if this is a data type because according to the books, it's not a data type. But I googled it and I found it under the container. What is it called? Container data type, because it is able to take many values. That is what it's called. So I don't know,
And don't take some.
but
Uh,
or it could be a complex.
yeah,
data
it's a
type.
data type, but it's complex.
Complex.
It's a complex, just like the JavaScript function. It is just that it comprises of some other block inside it. So assuming if you had a method, actually if you define a method, then you call that method. What's the type of method?
If you define that,
If you define a method,
yeah.
then you call the method.
Or if you found the
What type
type.
is it?
Let me just
You
I
can
think-
do type of.
type of yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think-
if I say def, we had to without
What are you
the
having? You have space.
okay.
So we take
Type. It's just type. I don't think it's type of.
yeah.
Yes, I'm taking a selfie.
That's not a sexy button.
So it's the type of the function. The function.
So yeah.
It is. It is. Classes
Can you
are
do?
objects.
Can you create a list or a number and then it is? I think it will be.
One. And then type. G. That's int. Yeah. So here the type is function.
So type is function.
Function. No.
And the other.
Type is function.
Yeah.
This one is int.
You see, this one is int.
All so
Yes, yes.
include the
An object.
Yeah.
Because
So
because in a function you can think of a function has attributes. And objects.
So when you're defining a function in Python, you have to use the def keyword. Sorry, here I used a capital P. It's not supposed to be a capital P. And then your parameters, you put it in between the parentheses. And then don't forget the colon. And don't forget to indent the code of block that will be below. Also remember to have a print or a return statement. So that's just it for Python function. Any question? Classes also. Classes, I think it belongs to which class? To which
What?
type classes?
What
Class.
Yeah.
Classes of type.
It contains
Type
everything.
Classes of type. Okay, so it's a mechanism that we use in OOP. What is OOP? or object-oriented programming. Sorry. Yeah. It's a group of functions but bundled together so that they can work as a unit. For example, if we had a bank account class, we would bundle inside their deposit method, withdraw, transfer, check balance methods. All of them would be bundled inside there. Yeah, and there are concepts of OOP that you need to know. One of them is abstraction. The other one is encapsulation. But I will talk about the abstraction. Abstraction is where if I created a bank account class and then I created an object, my account from the bank account class. If I called on it the method deposit, I want to know the balance that I will get, not how I will do it, not what will be done in the background, in the back end. So that is what it means. It allows the user to concentrate more on what rather than how. I want to know that I have deposited or I have withdrawn, not how the withdrawal will be done. I don't want to know about that. Yeah. Does anyone know what encapsulation means? Encapsulation to me sounds like enclosing things. I don't know. That, yeah, okay, from the user or something. Like bundling the function. No, like the way we write function def, and then to find the area equals length times width. What else? And then you will just call area with the arguments. What is encapsulation? I'm not sure.
You actually right.
Yeah.
Just expound on it.
The encapsulation thing. I was saying that I think encapsulation sounds like enclosing things to me. So I was thinking the way we bundle together a function. We write a function, maybe get area, and then we pass in the parameters. And then under that, we write our code of statements of code, codes of blocks. That one, yes, that thing. Yeah. And then we return our values. No, we return the whatever it's up, the area, for example. And then when we call the function, we just call the functions with the arguments.
Okay, so what I think
Encapsulation is.
Yeah, is that encapsulation is where you have certain variables only accessed with certain methods.
Okay.
So you can have a class user, maybe for authenticating a user. So only the variable of the password variable, the name, and all that can only be accessed by that
Class.
alone.
Okay.
Or a particular method of the class.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Kevin,
I think just Mr. was also just saying bundling that related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. So under our class definition, sorry, you must start with the keyword class. When you are looking at the functions, we said that you must start with the keyword def. So in classes, you must start with the keyword class, and then you must use the capword convention. What that means, you must capitalize every beginning of the word. If you wanted to write bank account, it's the B and the A. Yeah. Capitalized. Yeah, but also he's right. Capitalized camel case.
We found another name.
Yeah. Capsule. Yeah, capword. Yeah, that one. So the rest is the example of a bank account class. I had to rate it. Yeah. Yeah. So you guys will have a look at it. My time is over. But more we will look more at more of this in later discussions. Yes. So does anyone have a question or two? Anyone? Is it you have not understood, or is it that you have understood too much?
We have understood a lot.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for preaching. It's good.
Okay. So this is our meetup. I hope you'll enjoy it. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. See you in the next week.
Oh, so far we have next week we have a topic. Abraham will be taking us through data visualization. Yes. So actually, let me say this. We were deciding to do the same as Python, sorry, Ruby meetup. The way you guys alternate between Ruby and Rails. We wanted to separate our meetups into three actually. Python, the programming language, Python for web, on which we will be looking at Django or Flask or Django. I don't know. We will decide on that. And then we also will be looking at data analysis and data science and all that. So, like for example, this week, I can call this Python the programming language. And then next week, we have Python for data. Abraham will take us through data visualization and that. And then the other week now, we will look at something on Django. That is what I was thinking we should do. So I think we can start looking on Django, looking at Django on the second week from now. Next week, but on next week, but on. Yeah, and the next week is data visualization, like the coming week.
What exactly Django?
Like we can just look at the introduction.
Getting started with Django.
Yeah, Django. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so that's it. Bye. Have fun coding. Okay. And now I do not know where to. Yeah, I want to.